was the nation's first Secretary of State, the second Vice President, and the third President of the United States. He was born into a prominent farming family in Virginia. His father, Peter, was a very successful farmer, skilled surveyor, and cartographer who produced the first accurate map of the province of Virginia. He began his formal education at the age of 9 at a local private school, studying Greek and Latin, and in 1760 left home to study at the College of William and Mary. There he fell in with a circle of older scholars, one being the lawyer George White, and it was from him that he received most of his education. After 3 years at William and Mary, Jefferson decided to read law under White, who was one of the premier lawyers in the American colonies. White guided through Jefferson through a 5-year program, and by the time Jefferson was out and had passed the Virginia State Bar, he was one of the most learned attorneys in America. Jefferson was one of the earliest supporters of American independence, and in 1768 was elected to the Virginia House of Burgesses. In 1775, he attended the Second Continental Congress, where they created the Continental Army, and where they appointed George Washington as Commander-in-Chief. In June 1776, the Congress appointed a 5-man committee to draft the Declaration of Independence. The committee then chose Jefferson to alter the first draft. Over the next 17 days, Jefferson drafted one of the most powerful testaments to liberty and equality in American history. Although the Declaration of Independence, adopted on July 4, 1776, had undergone many revisions, its immortal words remain essentially its own. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. After altering the Declaration of Independence in 1776, Jefferson returned to Virginia, served as a member of the Virginia House of Delegates until 1779, and wrote the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, which established freedom of religion and separation of church and state. After arriving back in Virginia in November of 1789, George Washington was awaiting him to tell him that he had been appointed Secretary of State, and that a political foe, Alexander Hamilton, had been appointed Treasury Secretary. Jefferson's Republicans had a strong belief in the supremacy of state governments, a strict constructionist view of the Constitution, which, according to John Rowland at Constitution.org, is interpreting the Constitution as it's worded originally, and supported the French Revolution. Hamilton's Federalists valued strong national government, broad interpretation of the Constitution, and neutrality in European affairs. In 1797, the Republicans selected Jefferson as their candidate to succeed Washington as their president. He came in a close second to John Adams. As vice president, he presided over the Senate and played no other major role because Adams did not consult his vice president on any important decisions. In 1800, Jefferson was elected President of the United States. In his first term in office, he was remarkably successful and productive. He stripped the presidency of all trappings of European royalty, reduced the size of the armed forces and government bureaucracy, and lowered the national debt from $80 million to $57 million in 2 years. Another note to his presidency is the Louisiana Purchase, which he made in 1803, which acquired all the land west of the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. He also devised the expedition that Lewis and Clark set out to map out the western part of the United States. Jefferson died on July 4, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And only a few hours before he passed away, John Adams also passed away. And in the moments before he passed, John Adams spoke his last words: "Thomas Jefferson survives."